Email newsletter opt-ins, are they friend or foe? Well, they can be both, and it totally depends on how you have them set up. Hey, I'm Brad with BGS. I'm a revenue optimization expert. I help our clients grow and scale their business, and I'm also an instructor and coach with our e-commerce business blueprint, which is our beginner's level course. Okay, so today we're talking about everyone's favorite thing, email, opt-in, newsletter, pop-ups. Okay, so they can totally be a foe, and they can actually hurt your conversions, increase the bounce rates if you do not have them optimized correctly. Okay, so I'm going to talk about two things that you need to do. Okay, the first thing is you need to offer your customer something of value for their email address. So if you're asking for their email address, you need to offer them something of value in return, right? So a lot of times I'll go on a site and pops up and is asking me to subscribe to their newsletter for the latest specials and news and things like that. And most people don't care about that unless you're like a raving fan, like maybe going on Taylor Swift's site or something like that. Not that I'm a fan, but maybe not. But, you know, maybe I'll subscribe just for the heck of it. But most people don't want to be spammed daily. So what you need to do is you actually need to offer something of value. It could be a coupon code. Enter your email address for a 10% coupon code. And if you do that, make it instant. So it could be a coupon code. It could be free shipping. It could be a free product. It could be a digital product. It could be maybe entry into some kind of giveaway that you're doing or a contest. But again, you've got rules and regulations with that. But there's a number of things that you can do, but you need to really offer your customer something of value that they would love to have in return for giving you their contact information. Okay, tip number 2 is don't set it up to pop up on page load. I get this all the time. Go on a website and bam, pop up before I've even had a chance to even process the site. And remember, most people, when they go to a site, they only have seconds to really process it and figure out what your site is, what it's about, if they should care, why they should buy from you with your UVPs. If you have a pop-up that's instantly loading, you know, they may just bounce immediately. And I think that's why you see like a lot of really high bounce rates. So what you need to do, and there are 2 ways around this, and it depends on what the user is using. So number 1, if you're on desktop, you need to make sure that you have it set up, if possible, to only display the pop-up on exit intent. Okay, a lot of apps will allow you to do this. So the theory is, if a customer is leaving your site anyway, go ahead and show them the pop-up, and you know, worst case, they leave without entering anything, but they're leaving anyway. Okay, so do it on exit intent, and you know, they may enter their email or phone number, and that way they're on your list, and you can market to them later on. And most people, they don't buy the first time anyway. You know, usually it takes repeated attempts or visits that people tend to buy once they know you, not from a stranger. Okay, so exit intent for desktop, and then for mobile, it's a little trickier because with mobile, even though your app may have an option for exit intent, historically, they do not work well, because when you're thumbing on your mobile, when you're scrolling up and down, it's really hard to tell when someone is exiting on mobile. So the best practice is to set a time delay, and I'm going to show you how to figure that out. Okay, so the way that you figure out the time delay for your mobile pop-ups is by going on to Google Analytics. And what you do is you go over here. The easiest way, there's a number, like with GA, there was like a million ways to do different things. But just an easy way is when you're on the home, you go to acquisition and then overview, and it's one of these default columns right here. So make sure that you have a good date range. Okay, so make sure you have your date range, and then you just go to where it says behavior, and it shows you the average bounce rate, but then you have the average session duration. So in this case, it's 1 minute and 15 seconds that users are spending on the site. So what you want to do is set it just below that. And in theory, that's kind of like the exit intent, because that's how long the average person stays on the site, and you want it just below that. So in this case, I may set it for like 1 minute. And then that's something you may want to test if your opt-ins are like lower, or if your bounce rate is increasing, then you may want to tweak it up or down a little bit. So you may want to just kind of mess around with it, but just below your average session duration is a good rule of thumb for your mobile pop-ups. The main thing is you don't want to blast a pop-up instantly. You want to have it on a time delay. And again, the good way is kind of guessing what the exit intent is, and that's by using the average session duration. Now, you can also use this on desktop as well, because if you're using a pop-up that's part of your theme, it may not have a exit intent option, where like most apps probably do. Some of the theme pop-ups do not. And so in this case for desktop, you would do the same as mobile. You just set up a time delay and kind of guess a little bit. Okay, so just to recap, email opt-in pop-ups, friend or foe, where they're foe unless you optimize your pop-ups, and you optimize them by offering something of value, and set it up where it does not load on page load. So, and you do that by timers or by exit intent, depending on the device the user is using. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. And most important of all, if you would like assistance growing or scaling your business, make sure you go to www.workwithbgs.com, and we can help you build, grow, and scale. And that's it for today, and I'll see you next time.